We have Vicky Gunvalson. I want to hear about Teresa, Countess, Kenya Moore. Give me current people that are working. Marlo Hampton. You tell me Marlo Hampton is going to go on the picket line with you, and she's turning down. She should. Drew Sidora. Miss Sidora is going to say no to the peach, and she's going to go on a picket line during the divorce with Ralph. Let me back up. Jizzy Jizz, your friend from the Potomac. She's going to say no to next season and just go picket. I think Bethany has a point. I mean, what is the difference between actors and all of this? Granted, you don't have to sign the contract. So there is another school of thought. They are using your likeliness forever. These contracts are very, very impressive. And I know that you're giving way too much credit to Bravo, but you have no say in anything. The podcast, I don't know. Are they all getting approval to do that? There's a lot of people that come on my show without asking. So the contract really, the people that follow the contract don't do anything. They really follow the rules. Do you know what I mean?
What the talent doesn't realize, right, is there isn't really shit they can do because, about you getting other sources of income, right? There's all kinds of, oh my God, what is it? It depends on the state. It's not like a non-compete, but it's there's non-compete laws. It's very hard for them to, I think, they can't really control whether you go on a podcast or not. They can threaten you, but they really can't do jack shit about it. Same with you starting a podcast. They can try to dissuade you from doing it. But I think, it's very hard in court for them to prove that you aren't allowed to make an income because a lot of these people, they have kids, they have mortgages, they have other, but I deal with a lot of TLC stars, as you do with Bravo stars, who fall for that all the time. I can't do this interview. I have to get permission. I don't have permission. It's no, you can do anything you want. They are not going to do shit. What they're going to do is send you a nasty email. You didn't listen to us, blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to move on with their day and they're not going to give a shit. It's internalized for you, but
it's internalized for you, and you get the fines. Deandra Simmons has told me she's gotten a fine, I think, because of something Mama D said once. Kelly was on my show with the hat, Drunk Lives Matter. So, but you're not getting the fine and then paying the check. You're getting the fine and then saying, you just finished the reunion. Here's your extra $100,000. Here's 70. We took 30 out. There's so many things that I'm not even sure, if you went after them, if it's it's this typical bullying mentality. I told a story on my Patreon recently. I'll tell it here. Maybe with the whole thing. Look, do I get bullied by this network, a certain network, all the time? And I say, fuck you. It's the typical bully mentality that we have. Podcaster with the limp dick in the corner that gets a call and it's taking down the fucking thing because someone says, let Bravo call me and ask me to take down this episode. The answer is no. Don't even waste your dime. So it's the typical bullying mentality. And Sarah, you say of the people or of the business. I am of the people. Don't call me and bully me. I love these listeners. So
I wish that people did. I've been a member of SAG-AFTRA for almost 20 years, and the benefits are amazing. You're guaranteed health insurance. You work towards a pension. And Bethany is right. These individuals who are workhorses for a decade, the Nenes, they have no retirement except for if they set it up for themselves to show for it. That's insane. They're bigger stars than, can you name half? Any movie, Oppenheimer, right? That's huge right now, or Barbie. All right. Aside from the big stars.
Margot Robbie. Do I get a point for that?
But Margot Robbie has a fantastic retirement, health insurance, disability, all these things. But even the actors that you don't even know their names in Barbie are getting those benefits, and yet here we have Nene Leakes and Teresa Giudice going on almost 2 decades on television. They don't have any benefit. They don't have that's a long, they don't have a long-term retirement. I don't know. Did they get covered by Bravo for health insurance?
Probably
year round.
Think so.
Maybe they get some sort of insurance for the time they're filming. They probably get some, but they don't get, I bet, year-round health insurance. They have to cover that on their own for their families with something else. It's
She has a point. Listen, she has a point. Look at, she said one day, we need whatever it is, peace in the Middle East. We need supplies on the ground in Puerto Rico, and she figured it out. I mean, I feel the same way. That's like my model of business. I could do anything if I just took an hour out and figured it out. 2 hours, 4 hours, 10 hours. She can do it out of any of these reality stars if someone could, but she has to. The people have to stick with her. They have to really, I mean, listen, if there is going to be no new season of New Jersey, and now we're not going to film the next season of the New York City, and when it Potomac, the rest of the season after this big smackdown, no one's going to show. If these people stick to it, but they're such fame whores and they're such desperate people. I'm not trying to be mean, but they're desperate for fame. They are desperate, and they're desperate for a dollar. They're not, you can't cross the picket line. If we can't make Potomac and we can make New York, it doesn't work. If we can't make New York and we can make Orange County, it doesn't work. If every housewife and every Bravo celebrity and every 1,000-pounder and every Snooki and JWoww, if everyone just didn't show up to work, yeah, you'd get somewhere. But when Malaya Gorga needs to go open up Envy and get her 2 million, and somebody crosses the line, everyone says, I pick on Malaya and Josephina. Okay, Drew Sidora. Okay, does that make you feel better? Tamra Judge, after being fired, her ass was handed to her and she rolled down the hill and had her ass kicked out. She tried to do a CBD business and a podcast with the TED stuff. If they say to Tamra, forget your co-stars, girl, here's your money, we'll cast a whole new show. Somebody's going to cross the picket line, aren't they?
I mean, I think you're right. I think unfortunately, and two more points, and then I have a question for you. One is, the Obamas did an awesome documentary about unionizing. I think it's called American Dream. It's so good. People should watch it. And basically it's about a car manufacturing company in the Midwest. Some employees like Bethany tried to get them to unionize, and essentially they wouldn't, because people don't get anymore. They don't understand like how important a union is, because it was such a huge thing back in the 30s and 40s. And SAG-AFTRA was started in 1930, back when nobody had anything and everybody was being abused. To your point, now you have people at different levels. And I think, unfortunately, because of that, you are going to have the Melissas. A lot of these people we know live way above their means. I mean, they are banking on that $2 million. And I just don't think that I think it's a different time. And I don't think you're going to get people that see the long term for the next generation of reality stars and the generation after that. I don't think they see it like they did in the 1930s, when everybody was being so abused, which they are now. They just, it's a different way. And so I don't.
Well, no, I was going to say, and these, first of all, we've had Fran Drescher on this podcast twice, guys. Go listen to you. Yeah, I've had Fran Drescher, and I've had the president, I had the prior president of SAG-AFTRA, Miss Gabrielle Carteris, 90210. So listen to Gabrielle's. We talked about SAG. We talked about it with Fran. I congratulated Miss Drescher when she got the position. Yeah,